afternoon, friends. Stephen Bennun with Israeli News Live, and we are joined here with two guys that are becoming great friends. Collin Campbell there with gosh, Collin, I'll get it right here in a minute. Project Constitution, and my good friend Tai Norman, that
Hey, guys.
handsome guy there in the bottom with his hat on backwards because he parts his hair the same way I do. But uh, listen. He got banned on TikTok, and this is really terrible. So listen, he's on YouTube. He's also on X. On X, we are not GTM, if I got that right, and
Yes.
we are not going to Mars is his YouTube channel. I'll put that all that information of both these gentlemen in the description below. You want to check out the interview we did the other day, and I believe it aired both. I know Colin.
Just so folks can.
Good afternoon, friends. Stephen Bennun with Israeli News Live, and we are joined here with two guys that are becoming great friends. Collin Campbell there with gosh, Collin, I'll get it right here in a minute. Project Constitution, and my good friend Tai Norman, that
Hey, guys.
handsome guy there in the bottom with his hat on backwards because he parts his hair the same way I do. But listen. He got banned on TikTok, and this is really terrible. So listen, he's on YouTube. He's also on X. On X, we are not GTM, if I got that right, and
Yes.
we are not going to Mars is his YouTube channel. I'll put that all that information of both these gentlemen in the description below. You want to check out the interview we did the other day, and I believe it aired both. I know Collin ran it live on his channel there, and Project Constitution. And Tai, did you share that on your channel as well, or no?
I was actually busy building another channel, so I haven't
Okay,
gotten it shared
I
out
get
yet.
you.
But it will be on my YouTube. For now, definitely check it out on Colin's, channel. I know he has it posted, so folks can, go to Colin's channel and get that.
Absolutely. And I'm sure these guys are going to take and share this one as well on their channels. So depending on wherever you see it at, we thank you for being here. We're gonna start right off though. In that interview we did yesterday, uh, Ty he shared the guy running across the catwalk. We'll get into that a little bit later.
Yeah.
We're going to kind of cover several things. One, Ty has really pulled together the fact that Charlie Kirk was not shot once, he's shot twice. There's even eyewitnesses that can back up that information. We have the work that Collin has put together. He's captured a bullet in the middle of the air. He's caught a reflection of a muzzle flash in the window that has gone viral on so many channels everywhere. And then Ty comes in, takes that, and then of course we had shared with you guys the laser there, and Frank Turret's
Kirk.
phone. I'll get his name right. Thank you, Collin.
Yeah.
And from that there, then Ty goes in there and he pulls this thing together, triangulating this, and amazing work on where he believes the shooter was that caught Charlie, not necessarily in the neck. I had two theories on that. Get this right. This side here, his right side. I had one where I thought it might have entered the neck. The other one I thought was actually up there behind his ear because I found this little unique blood splatter, or at least it appears to be a blood splatter because of the shape and the way it looks. And because of that, we think there. But then he shows, which is really helps to be more consistent because all these other experts, like these former snipers for different military, Navy SEALs, etc. They're talking about a frontal shock that actually hit him, and this is what Ty brings in. Two shots were fired simultaneously, and this could be, and I'm just going to say alleged, this could be the reason why we get some of these signs that are being done from his security team. I don't think Frank grabbing the tip of his hat was one of those. And he didn't grab his ear. He actually scratched his face when he did the second motion there. But when it
Correct.
comes to some of these others there, you know, gosh, that does seem a bit odd. And then we're going to be looking at some crazy things about IP addresses. We're going to be looking at planes that were flying over that were almost at stall speed.
Yeah.
It's really a lot of information. You want to stick around and watch everything. But first, we're going to go to Tai Norman as he shares with us a correction he wanted to make on our
Yeah.
broadcast from yesterday. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you guys. I appreciate being here with you guys. We had a great show yesterday. And I know we're gonna have it. We all have our ducks in order now, so we're gonna even have a a more amazing show today. Um, First of all, if you're not following these two guys, you need to be following them. Everything that I've done in my work, and I appreciate, the introduction and everything, Steve, but everything I've done in my work has really been based off of everything that they've done in their work. So it made it a lot easier for me to come to the table and just, add my seasoning to the mix, if you will. So make sure you're following these guys. Now, yesterday when we were talking, even though I stand by, all of my work as far as the two shots, that was you just can't deny it anymore. That part we can't deny. We don't want to say that our eyes are lying. So, segueing from that exact statement, we saw something with the guy who is the alleged BA sniper. We're not saying that he absolutely is the guy because we don't know actually still who exactly took the shot, but we have a funny sneaking suspicion that there's a lot of things going on in that area, and there's a guy running from that area. So we're saying the alleged BA sniper. Um, but as he was running from that area, there seemed to be a projectile that was flying by his head and it was moving very quickly. Now, what we noticed when we got off the live and what some of Colin's wise followers noticed as well, too, is that it was moving a little bit too slow to be a bullet. And I began to, question that too as I got off. And therefore, I went and found the correct information for you guys. So, what I ended up finding was the high quality footage that kind of shows that this was not a bullet at all. And I want to share that with you guys. Now, can you see my screen?
Not yet. Let me
Not
make
yet.
sure.
Okay,
I
let
changed it to
me
multiple,
make it
so it
a
should
little.
work now.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Let's put it back on the screen share. I'm going to show that with you guys now. Share screen. Start.
We got it now. Good.
All right, there we go. So we'll go ahead and go into that real
There's
quick.
been a
Now,
shooting.
what
We
I
heard.
want you guys to notice here is in the video yesterday, you would have gotten this image because this is the image that I had yesterday. And if you'll see here, there's a projectile that actually comes in as he's running by. And hopefully you can pick this up good here, while we're streaming it. It's a little bit harder to see things through streaming, but we're going to try our best, right? I don't think we were able to get that frame. Try it again. There you go. So
I'm
right
gonna
there, you
capture it.
see, yeah, right here, you see this projectile going back and forth right there. So yesterday, this would have appeared to us to be, oh man, this guy's running away, and there's a projectile coming directly at his head. If you guys can see that right there.
Let me
Now, what?
pause you for a second there, and I'm gonna quickly just show them blowed up, and then let turn you loose right back on that. So if I can
Yep.
do that for you there, so that they can actually see. Uh,
Okay. I can actually. Is this better? How's that?
you see the screen there now, Ty?
And in case you guys can't see it, I do have this posted raw to my
Actually,
channel,
I'm
so
I'm
you guys
zoomed
can see for
in really,
yourself.
really far. Can you guys see how far I'm zoomed in? Is it showing it? I'm zooming in on my side on my phone. Is it
Okay,
showing me
yes, that
zooming
way
in?
you get on the side even better. But yeah, we've actually done
Okay.
both now, Ty. So they've seen the close up, and what you just did really shows it very well. It's almost like
Okay.
it
All right.
is a rectangle shape as well.
Yeah, whatever it is that's flying through the air here that we see flying, and it's several frames, right? It's just too slow to be a bullet. And the drop of it is so sudden. So what I did is I went and I found the original footage here, and oh, I forget the guy's name right now. I forget his name right now, but I found it on his YouTube channel, the guy who originally did this footage. And what I began to realize, I'm going to press play here. You guys will see it in the red
We
circle.
heard shot.
Is that
There's been a shooting. We heard shots.
Came out of the audience.
There's been a shooting. We heard shots.
Actually thrown upwards out of the audience. Now we don't know what it is.
There's been a shooting. We heard shot.
Back it up here, so
There's been a shooting. We heard shots.
We'll let it play.
There's been a shooting. We heard shots.
But you can actually see it being thrown and extending right
shooting,
there,
we heard
and then
shots.
extending and going right past.
There's been a shooting. We heard shots.
Why don't you pause your audio,
There's been a
Ty? That way we can, because it's a little hard to hear you over that.
Yeah, if you yeah, because we got the audio. If you'll just mute that, and then that way, not as you narrate this, people will see it better, and then maybe we
Okay.
could zoom in on that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It was actually paused on my end.
Okay.
So I mean, my audio was actually muted on my end. So what I'd probably have to do is stop my share, and I'll go back in.
Reshare again.
Yep, and I'll go back in. I'll reshare it with you guys and turn that audio off. No worries. There you go. Share entire screen. Okay, now the audio will be off, and we'll go back in there again. There you go. So we'll play that a little bit so you guys can actually see here that the projectile is going to be in the red circle there to the left, coming up from the crowd, and it's going to go over to the right to the red circle that'll be on the right here, and you'll be able to see it all in one. So I'm just going to let that play a few times so you can see it. There you go. A little bit slower, you'll see it coming up right there, and then you'll see it flying right by him in that red circle. And we'll let that play again so you can see that.
And can you zoom in on the window coming up there? There we go. That way,
right
there
there.
it is. There it is.
There you go. And we'll wait till it gets to the slow again. Here you go. One more slow motion to the window right there. So you can see it flying up there and going right by him right there. So now, again, when you just see it from this frame, it just looks like, a projectile is going by his head as he's running when you see it just from this frame, right?
Yes. Yes.
But when you see the whole picture, you realize there's really just somebody throwing something from the audience. Now, what we've decided is nobody knows if this is really nefarious or not. This could be a nervous person knowing they're about to run out, a college student, and just throwing their, whatever they have on them so they don't get caught with it. So it doesn't have to really be anything nefarious, necessarily, but we don't know. So it is odd. It is right after the shooting happens. It is while he is running by, but we just don't have an answer to actually what this is that's being thrown up from the crowd and landing as he's running by.
Exactly.
So
very good. Very
hopefully
good.
you guys can and let me say this too, guys. Let me get I'm going to stop sharing the screen here and come back on so you guys can see me. Let me go here. There you go. And let's turn off the screen share. There we go. All right, can you guys see me?
Yes.
All right, great,
Yep.
great. So hopefully you guys can understand, when we only had half the screen, it only told half the story. But when we had the full screen, it gave a little bit more context as to actual trajectory of the projectile that was seen in that first half that we had. So we saw, no, it didn't come from a high building. It actually came from the ground. And could be nervous for. Could it also be, something that's, it'd be that as well too. I think it's something that I hope we can see some more footage from the actual crowd so we can actually see that. But what I want to do is as far as reflection, and when I think of much time, what I want to do is let you guys and girls know out there that investigative journalists to locate or retract. I can buy all my information that you can go to my YouTube. We're not going to Mars. You go to the channel, you can see all my information about being like that absolutely happened. There rock solid information. Stay on it. But the part was said after the video came, the part where I go, he shot. No, that not happened. It's not that. So if I didn't heard that, please forgive me for that. looked at this information, just realized that there was something that was there, but that projectile actually came close. And for you guys, girls, you that are out in this world and independent investigative journalists, know that it is okay, absolutely okay, for you to retract. It is absolutely okay for you to say, hey, I have new information. And based on that information, what we don't want to do is let our ego get in the way. And I pray when I do this kind of stuff, it's like you can hear it, you guys. But I pray when I do this kind of stuff, I want those listeners to be able to hear what is the actual truth. And I don't like to put my ego in it. I don't want to be grandiose. I want to be of those things. I think that we have a moral responsibility to show that we're delivering this kind of information possible so that people can be settled in their spirit when they receive this information, that it's factual and be trustworthy. So I hope you guys get a chance to go to my channel, check it out. What we're going to discuss here today. As far as Charlie being shot, Collin has some amazing things to add to this, and his supporters. And I mean, these guys, girls, I mean, Collin has an army. That's all we're going to say. He has his own army. And
I wanna
Steve, too. So thank you guys. I appreciate you giving it time to kind of fix that, but throw back the comments so that you can, give somebody the information because there's some stuff.
I want to also add to that before we go into the two shooter thing. I have new footage. Now I'm not the one that broke it. It was broken by Stephen Garner on X. I think he's on YouTube too, but he's the one that released the footage. And from that footage, I was able to find out exactly where this BA guy, this suspicious guy that we think could potentially be a shooter, where we think I know where he went to now. You originally thought that maybe he exited out the left side down that, to the loading dock area.
Yeah.
Well, I have new footage, and we can see now exactly where he went. So I'm gonna pull that up.
Yeah.
And show that real quick before we go further into that.
Yeah. We need to see
make sure I got everything right here. All right, how do I move this to get it? Can I move this to get it out of my way? I can't get to my tabs.
Trying to get out of your way because we can see it with no problem. We just need you to click your play button now.
Well, no, it's not this. I need to get to my X, but the Zoom, it was down the bottom before the Zoom thing with the share and the pause and the audio and all that.
You can't.
Okay, no, it went away. Hold on.
Okay,
I got it.
There it is.
Okay, cool. And make sure that is this the right one? No, that's not the right one. This is the right one.
There you go.
Okay. All right. So like I said, shout out to Stephen Garner. He is the one that found this footage. I'm going to post the raw footage as well, but I zoomed in particularly on the area that I needed to show where this guy was. So let's go ahead and watch this. Should be coming up here any minute. You should be able to see him cross the tape. All right. That's him right there. Just some shooting going on. Charlie Kirk. And then we lose him for a few frames. And then when this guy pans back around to that area over there,
I actually have a better copy of that portion that you just showed. I just remember I have a copy of that. I'm going to send you a clear copy after this.
What? Okay. I mean, I had, like I said, I had
It
the
cuts
copy's clearer, but I had to
my
zoom
copy
in.
cuts though. Oh, okay, okay. Look at that.
But as you see, yeah. So he didn't exit like we thought. He went down the steps, but he's not running down the steps, and he actually
Yeah,
lingered. There's actually a pause time where he lingers and just stands on the steps for a while, where he's not actually moving, just standing there. So
Now, there's a couple of reasons too, keeping in mind that he is part of that security detail. Let's say, hypothetically, to give him some leeway in this too. If he's part of the security team, was he told to move to that inn as quickly as possible to secure that site if they didn't have someone? Or is he allegedly that person of interest as a shooter? But at the same time, did he pause because at this point the body is being moved out of there and there's not a need for him right on the ground? So many different scenarios that people would probably question. And we just want to look at that.
yeah, I would add
yeah,
to that.
yeah.
This guy definitely looks suspicious what he did, because the fact, like Ty brought up in his video, which we're going to get to, is this he was originally, he started running back from, he was all the way at the very far staircase where we think the shot came from. And once the shot was hit, he if he was going to the event, he could have very easily gone down those stairs to where Charlie was and had a direct shot to him. That would have been the easiest way to get down there. But instead, he ran all the way across the bridge to the opposite side stairwell and then went down that stairwell. So that definitely is suspicious, but it could be an explanation, like Steve said. So I would say that, Frank Turek, when people thought, from day one, I didn't think he was involved, and I publicly said that, but his phone does hold the crucial evidence. But how Frank came out right away with his video explaining what happened that day and his side of everything, I think this guy needs to do the same. This guy
Absolutely.
needs to make a video, or if he doesn't want to do that, if he needs to just reach out to one of us and just explain what you were doing there so we can clear you, because we don't want to focus on people that, if we can clear you and move on to something else, great, because then that narrows down. I've been saying this the whole time. Anytime that we can exclude somebody as a subject or a suspect, then we can focus on what really happened and narrow the window of people that could be the potential assassin.
Absolutely. I would love for anybody to come forward and identify who that actual individual is, if possible. Again, we don't want to put anything on anybody, but there is too many coincidences. There's another coincidence that I'm actually going to talk about today of something that I noticed in the video. It's just too many coincidences of things that just don't seem right. And any piece of information that we get that could narrow down, the possibilities that are out there, gets us that much closer to the actual truth. And that's what all of this is really about. It's about finding the truth. It's about getting justice and knowing what's going on. And like I was telling the guys here before we started, my path in this, because of what I'm doing with my book Planned and Pen Pub, my path in this is kind of short. I came in this with the kind of just in selfish intentions, kind of it, just being honest, of just wanting to know. And I've done a lot of investigative journalism, and I had to know. I had to know. One, I had to know if I still had it. Two, I had to know. There was just no way. I felt the mockery, and I felt it was just such a strong mockery towards all of us that we couldn't figure it out, and that just, it bothered me to my soul. And when I saw that,
We knew we were being lied to.
yes, when I saw that Steve found that the infrared beam, And I didn't know it at the time, but Collin had found the flash. And when, these two pieces of information are critical, but that beam on the cell phone is just, I don't know why the world is not talking about that right now. I'm not going to stop talking about that until I'm blue in the face. There is nothing that anybody on mainstream media anywhere can tell me after I saw the beam. There's nothing that can be said to me. There's no reason why Charlie Kirk had a beam on him the very second that his life was taken. There's no reason. You cannot convince me. I don't care who it is. You just can't convince me of that. So the beam to me was the gospel, literally, of this situation. And it really signifies that we're being lied to. And that's why I'm happy to work with these guys and girls and really, uncovering what happened. And again, my piece is short here. These guys, they listen, the guys and girls in Collins Army, they are on it every day. These people do not sleep. So if there is any data out there, they're going to go far past what I can give you. I gave you my contribution, and I thank you, Steve, for acknowledging that. Thank you, Colin, for acknowledging that. But these guys are going to get you even further. So I'm excited to see what we can uncover, because there's a lot more to uncover.
I will also say that it's a team effort, because I mean, they're like, my audience has sent me so much stuff. I've gotten so flooded with emails, flooded with DMs. Like, people have sent me so much stuff. There's a lot of stuff I haven't even been able to go through yet to see what it all means. So I just want to thank everybody out there that has participated, and because we've asked for that. We've asked for you guys to send us things, and what do you think? So I just want to thank everybody, for doing that, because it's a team effort. We're the public facing people that you see putting this stuff out, but a lot of the information we're getting is from you guys as well, which is a big help.
Yes, absolutely. Let's take. Are we going to go to the plane, or let's maybe go to the double shot and then do the plane, because that would be a good follow up there to kind of link where the possibility this could be going. Because with the plane, we're also getting into things that Tucker and Candace Owens have both said. Tucker Carlson, Candace Owen, and especially Candace revealing the text. We'll go into that right after we do the plane. But before we play, Ty, the double shot video, if you could get that ready, I want to play real quick just to corroborate what Ty is going to tell you on this here. There's two things that are very important. Well, actually, just one that I'm going to share here for you. So I'm going to pull it, make sure I got the right file pulled up for you. And then let's see where I've got it at here. Here we go. This one right there. Got it. Now, you have to listen very carefully when I share this, because he says it right at the very beginning. He's an eyewitness to the shooting. I'll play it long enough for you to be able to also hear when he makes this statement. I want you to be able to hear where he claims he was at the time. All right. So again, listen closely, because he's going to talk about a bullet wound that is not in the neck. Let's listen up.
Like it was a direct shot to the heart. It looked like right where his heart is, it started going red. He fell back and went to his side. And then I looked down at the crowd, and it looked like the crowd, they all went to their knees really fast. I kind of did go to my knees as fast as everybody, because I wanted to see if anyone who was close to the shooter would be trampling all over that person. And I saw nothing like that at all. It just, everyone had dropped down, and for a few moments, they were just not moving. And people started getting up and moving, and the crowd started pushing me, and they pushed me so that I was basically bad stage. Like it was a direct shot to the heart. It looked like right where his heart is, it started going red. He fell back, and
right. So now, as he claimed, it's a direct shot to the heart.
Yeah.
Now, I have another. That's actually the video I sent you with the eyewitness who says that they think that that the shot definitely came from below, and they think that it may have came from inside the tent. They specifically say potentially from the speaker. That's actually the same guy. I just now noticed that, but
Okay.
the guy that you just showed, the interview I have is actually the same guy saying the same thing on somebody else's podcast.
Okay. All right. So, Ty, can you take and let's walk through what you released
Yeah.
initially on this?
Yeah, absolutely. The information that I'm standing on the backs of giants right now, and it makes it a lot easier to do my job, right? The information that I released originally was just to kind of prove that, um, uh, Charlie Kirk he wasn't just, not only was he not shot in the neck, that didn't happen. He was shot twice, and it was an organized operation to do it. It's something that I call Operation 322. I will share with you. Let me see here. Let me share my screen with you guys so you can actually kind of see what I'm talking about. And I'll share a couple files with you to go over a quick little video. We're not going to do any of the audio. I'm going to kind of just walk you through it verbally. And if you're interested in the audio, you can feel free to go over to my channel and see the actual whole video for yourself. And I guarantee you're not going to be disappointed. But I'm calling it Operation 322. And before I actually show you that, 37. Let me just show you why I'm calling it that. 3 patsies, 2 shooters, 2 distractions. Okay, so in this video, I'm not going to really focus on like who the 2 distractions are. We the media has already shown them, and I go over that in my video. But we do have the 3 patsies that are there that the media was supposed to pick up, so that there's several stories to run with. This one back here, right here, that happens to be Tyler Robinson on the LC building, and that's the story that they decided to run with. And you have the 2 shooters. The 2 shooters that I identify, and you see Charlie Kirk right in the middle there. The guy that's in front of Charlie Kirk, that's the palm shooter. The guy that's to the back right of Charlie Shirt, that's the Charlie Kirk. This is the one that I've coined the BA sniper. Okay. Now the guy that we see running down the bridge, that's right there behind Charlie Kirk. We think that may be the BA sniper that may be running down the bridge, but we are uncertain. We don't have any video footage of the actual second that the shot was taken from that area. So if anybody out there is watching this and you have footage of the back right of Charlie during the time that it was taken, we absolutely need that. As a matter of fact, do I have that in here? Let me see. I'll pull it up later, but Candace Owens was actually asking for that same area. As a matter of fact, I can show you guys what I'm talking about, what area I need. Okay. So
Yeah, this
is the area, right?
to show that. Can I ask a quick question, Ty, on
Yeah,
this right here?
absolutely.
Ty's going to get into in a moment here the muzzle flash. The fact that this wall right here reflects, you can see the furniture reflected in it, and the muzzle flash, which was, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it right down here around the stairwell on that window in that area?
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
I have it up on Google Maps for you guys. If you want to look at it in the middle of your screen on Google Maps. Can you guys
Because
see
what
that?
would be nice is to actually triangulate, because you would think wherever that shooter is, and I would like if you could, are you able to take and somehow touch that spot where you believe he's at? Because I'm wondering, one
Hold
day I
on
want to
one
do
sec.
the actual math on it because I have a feeling that
So
you could
I
probably
have,
figure that out.
yeah. I also have a graphic here too to kind of show that. Um, I did a few graphics to kind of show that area above there. So let's let's go here. So what we're looking at basically is if we go here, this
Yes,
is
that's
where
the good one.
the red dot is where I kind of thought that he was hiding at to be out of view. Now, the area that's right in front of this, the red dot there, I wish I did have something here too. Let me see if you guys could see this on your end. I don't know if Zoom is going to pick this up. Can you see me doing that?
Yeah.
Yes, I can see it.
You can see the little circle there?
Yes, we can see that
Yep.
little circle.
Okay, beautiful. So the area that's right here is kind of like an opening that's right there. So you can move around on this top deck and you see there's an opening right here, and there would be an opening right here as well too. So if the shooter was to come right around this area, around this triangled off area right here, I should have made it red. You could get a good position from here. You can get a good position from here. If there was a board that's right here, you could get a good position through this gap that's right here. Anywhere in this area is going to give you a good shot at Charlie, and it's going to cut off because of the gate that's right here. If you see that, there's this little fence that's right there. That
Right?
fence that's right
Yep.
there, it's going to cut off any visibility of the people who are out here. They're not going to be able to see anybody that's up there. Now here, if I go back and show you in maps, when you look at it from the bridge perspective, if you're back here when you're looking at it, you can't even see anything. It's dark, even when you're looking at the video from back in here. So let me just show you guys real quick so you guys will know exactly what I'm talking about, just to make it a little bit easier for you. When we look at this video right here, look, it's dark. We can't really make out anything, right? It doesn't matter what we do, we can't make out anything. So if anybody can send us any kind of video footage back here, this is what we're trying to see. This area that I'm showing you right here, that these students and these people are under right here, this is this area right here. Okay? That's this
Can you
area
freeze it
right
right
here.
there for a second there? Just stay right where
Yeah,
you're at. I want to
there you
ask
go.
about something here. And I'm going to blow up a little bit, and there's a couple of things I want to bring in on this real quick. So let me just first have that ready. I'm gonna switch you on the share here. I'm gonna switch it here because I want to get your take on this part right here. Okay, let me get rid of that. Let's blow this up. Okay. When you're looking at that area there where you were showing in here,
Hold on, I gotta get back to you and find you on here.
okay,
Okay, there we go.
when we look at this area that you were talking about there, where we're looking to get video footage, that's actually right in this area here, this whole area, which I'll quickly do a circle on that in green. So it's
Okay.
kind of like right there. Okay. Now, if you look at that though, there's no way for the shooter to be able to see Charlie because you're too off in there. What I was thinking you were looking at initially, and maybe I am
No, no, no,
correct.
no, no. That the area that I'm talking about in there that's dark in there, that's
Uh-huh.
not where I'm talking about shooting him.
Okay, I got you. So,
Yeah,
but is
yeah, yeah.
that the spot up
Let
there then? Up here
yes,
at the
the
top?
spot. Yeah, the spot is at the top. Let me be very clear. Let me show you something.
We just want to
let me
see this bottom part to see whether they drop down or not from the roof.
yeah. Let me just show you that real quick so that you can understand, right? So when we show you the top of that roof, it's clearly easy to drop down. Pull that up for you guys.
Right, because where you show the red arrow is in line with being able to see Charlie Kirk, and that's what I was looking
Yeah,
at as well. Was just that view there. That's right, because you showed a top view before, and that's what I saw as well.
yeah. Let me pull up my maps real quick if you guys don't mind. I'm just going to go to my maps and pull it up. Okay, here we go. A lot easier to do it this way. So this is what I was talking about. See that opening right there?
Yes, that's what I
There's a,
was thinking too. Because once
there's
you
a,
take,
so this is what I was thinking. Let me just show you guys what I'm talking about real quick. If I'm a student and I'm going in and out of these doors that are right here, and and I don't want to see anything, nothing wants to look weird right here. This is just kind of what my hypothesis about the situation and how this is actually set up, right? If you don't want anybody to see what you're doing in this position right here, all you'd have to do is have a black covering here or something just to cover this area so that nobody disturbs this area. If you could slide behind a black covering and there's something here for you to go up and down so you can get into position, nobody on the ground would see you. Nobody over here would see you. You'd be behind a covering right here, and you can easily access this position from a perched position with direct access, as we can see here, with direct access to Charlie Kirk right here in a direct access line of fire type of situation. So this is why I'm saying this area, it's just too convenient. It's too convenient for the muzzle flash reflection, and you'll see it in my video when you go to my YouTube. I explain all of this. For the muzzle flash reflection to come off of this wall right here. Now, let's be clear. Another reason too, and Steve, let me clarify this for you too. The reason why I updated my information as far as that red triangle right there, and I said maybe the shot didn't come from here, but instead in here. And the reason why I said that it came in here instead is because it would be hard to catch the muzzle flash reflection because of this angle of the wall.
exactly.
Does that make sense?
Right. But let me ask you this though. If you're back over in the other spot where you could catch that, it seems like you would not be able to see because now the catwalk has your view blocked. You see what I mean? So the
It
question
could, but
is,
if you're over here to the side, it doesn't.
okay, right.
It's right
Okay,
there.
gotcha.
That angle is literally right there. And that's why I'm saying this is the only advantageous angle. If you're here, though, too, let's be clear here, too. I'll bring up Google Maps so I can show you this part. But if you're here, too, watch this. See this? If you're right here on this
Yes.
edge, that's another area right
Yes,
there. It's kind
that
of a
okay.
protected
Now
area.
that's even better. Let me. Can you go back to that spot again? I want to
Yeah,
capture
sure.
that. All right, hold
How
it
about
right
right
there.
there?
Okay, let me.
Is that a sloped roof there on that thing?
Yes,
That is a
perfect
sloped
place to
roof.
lay down and not be
Yeah,
seen.
Yes.
exactly. I just thought about that too.
Absolutely. So that's what I'm saying. This angle here it's all opportunity in this zone right here. But wherever it has to be, it still has to be far out enough for that flash to catch. That flash still has to catch the reflection off this wall for you to be able to see anything in the reflection coming off of this window down here.
I almost feel like that if we could ever use that flash and use that. See, the thing is, the fact the wall is at the angle, clearly you can see where that could reflect off of there and then bounce in right up underneath that stairwell there where it catches that window
Yeah,
there. So right. So
right there.
I'm going
Exactly.
to capture that too for just a moment. And
Yeah.
the one thing that I'm thinking about here, and I'll try to show this here, is that all right, I'm going to do an arrow here on this just out of curiosity. Is that if we were to take and come from where that hit that window, and I'll just say roughly there,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have, okay, now I'm going to quickly show this to you guys just out of curiosity. This is, and just see if both of you, because Collin, you found this already, and I want to see if for some reason am I on the same page with you guys when I do this. So I'm gonna share a screen with you and then
Well, after
see
you
if I got
show us that, I'm going to show something to you guys that I think is a little bit scary about that shot, but I want to see.
right.
Hold on, let me get back to
You'd like
your.
to step out just for a second, Collin, so you can see this too, because I have it up on the screen now.
There you
And I want to make sure I'm in the right spot with the muzzle flash. Can you see that, Collin?
I don't see anything. I just see us.
No.
You don't see it either?
Okay, I see. No, I see it now. It must have been a delay.
Okay.
I just see it.
You see it now, Ty?
I just see
angle
us.
makes
I don't.
perfect sense.
Hold on. Let me stop screen share. Oh, okay.
Colin,
There we go.
is that the right, roughly the right area where the window was at? Maybe I'm a little
Oh,
bit
look at
off.
that. Yeah, you just did that. Okay.
I think you're right. I'm actually looking for that video right now myself. I'm looking for the muzzle flash video so we can see ourselves.
I know that it's on that.
Well,
There's a door somewhere right around that stairwell area, and it's right there in that doorway. So I may be off with it right there. It may be a little bit closer to the
well,
door.
Here, I
well,
got it.
watch this.
Let me
I'm going to
share
take
this.
a picture real quick and show you guys something too. Another theory that I think is possible
I
because
found
that is absolutely the good angle, and yes, absolutely right.
I found the muzzle
But
flash video if you want me to share that.
Okay, so the theory that you have, Ty, about possibly being on that little angled part of that roof,
yeah,
it almost seems to be that, of course, now I can't tell as far as where things would hit off of there, but maybe that is in the right spot.
yeah. Let me show you something on Google Maps real quick, and I'll go to that video.
Okay?
But let me show you something on Google Maps. Like I'm going to screen share with you now, because I want to show you guys idea on this here, and I think it's really important that we kind of discuss this as a possibility because this triangle basically on the BA building and the catwalk in front of the BA building / BA building itself, this triangle, let me pull it up.
And I have video from that stairwell. I sent somebody there, by the way. So I have video right there at where I originally thought it was, right from underneath that stairwell where that door is that you're talking about, Steve.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have that and the muzzle flash video pulled up when you're ready for it.
Okay.
Now, I don't know what this looked like on the day of this, opening right here. But I'll say this. When you guys see my video on YouTube, you'll see this too. When I'm showing you the glossy reflection that's coming off of this wall,
Yes, like
and
a
I'm
mirror.
explaining, how basically this is a muzzle flash reflection. Yes. Well, the same is true for this. This is
Yes,
what I didn't
exactly,
cover in
that
that video,
too.
so I'm
I
kind of saying
agree.
here for you guys too.
Yep.
So the same is true for this. And when I look at the slit that is right here, I get vibes about this, that's all I'm saying is I get vibes. I'm not
Yes.
saying, it was exactly there, but anywhere between this area right here, kind of in the perch position right here, down to being right here, maybe, or literally right here because of the opening
Exactly.
that's here. Now, I don't know what this looked like, but if this was open and accessible and this was somehow closed off or a platform that was there or something makeshift that was there to be able to take that shot and then they just take it out later. I don't know. It's just that there's so many possibilities right here. But what we do know based off of Collin's good work, and I'll turn off my screen share for now. Collin, I'll let you show that muzzle flash because that's your work.
After we hit that muzzle
go
flash, I would like for you to come back, Ty, and explain though why the two shot.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I have that. I have that all ready for you guys already.
Okay, great.
But if you look, I actually had a woman that I paid to go here and get this video for me. Right there is where I originally thought the shot was taken from, because you see how next to the stairwell here, there's this wall which could obviously, hide somebody that was standing there. That's what that was my original thought. But your roof the thing on the roof makes more sense. But
can you back it up for like 5 seconds so we can see that see it spin around to that location again? I missed it a little bit.
Yeah, I'm trying here. It's giving me a hard time. Give me a second.
Yeah, no problems. No worries.
It's just buffering
Because
for
I
some
think this
reason.
is probably the first time a lot of people have seen this too.
Come on now. Am I connected? Yeah, I'm still connected.
This is not a regular video that's out there online. This is somebody sent you, something somebody sent you, right?
Well, I put it out, I don't know,
Okay,
like
I
a
see,
month
yeah.
ago.
Okay, yeah.
Let me try to refresh it here. I don't know why it's not loading.
Okay.
Oh, no, I lost it.
And then you'd have to go back a whole month to find it.
Well, I moved
God.
all my. Luckily, I moved all my Charlie Kirk stuff up to the front. I've been doing that so people can easily find it.
Yeah, that's smart.
So it's I don't have to go that far back, luckily, but yeah, I do have to go a little ways back, which sucks.
Yeah, it's okay. You got all the good stuff though.
You really need to check out my channel. I got a ton of stuff that I've put out here.
Man,
I mean, even so far as
it's amazing.
The courtroom. Another thing you guys don't know: the courtroom video, the first appearance they don't match exactly. The media cut stuff out.
Yeah, somebody even pulled out something from that courtroom video to show that they gave two different versions to show that basically one was a deceptive version, almost like when he was reading to him things and the timing of his nodding was off. And I was shocked by that video, man. That was crazy.
And nobody besides me talked about it, man. That's the crazy thing. Nobody else is talking about it. It boggles my mind. But anyway, let's go ahead and do this now.
Okay.
But this is that door right there that you would have to go out to get to where Charlie was.
Okay.
That's on the stairwell halfway up, correct?
Yep.
Oh, no, at the bottom of the stairs. Okay, bottom, not halfway up, bottom of the stairs.
Well, yeah, right at the bottom of the stairs.
Okay.
So she's saying the shooter was inside of this little cubbyhole area.
Exactly.
Yeah, the only problem with that is the reflection came from higher than the door.
Counting or not counting?
A lot higher than the door. Yeah.
You slow it down, so there we go. There's the flash.
There it is.
Let me pause it. Maybe we can pause it on it.
I seen the one. I definitely seen the one real easy.
I did as well, but for the sake of those that are watching, we want them to see where that happens.
Yeah. Boom, right there.
There it is. Yeah. Right, freeze right there. Now, with it there, I'm just going to photograph it again. I've got it a lot of other times. All right. Now, is there any way we can back out a little bit with it frozen or no? Or is that?
No, that's I zoomed in on that video.
Okay.
Now, somewhere I have the raw video, but it would probably take me 15 or 20 minutes to find it. So that'll have to be for another day.
We at least know where we're at on the building itself. Okay.
Yeah.
Although I have there you go.
Yeah.
There's the zoomed out version.
Okay, so it's actually higher than the middle ways of the steps there. So the thing is like when we're going up, I don't know if you see my mouse.
It's about midway up the stairs. Okay. It's on the glass midway up the stairs.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
And another
there you go.
Another great thing to note about the flash tube, it's literally when you're looking at the panel, the part protrudes out. It's literally against like pushing one of the corners of that, and so I'm even certain we're getting a whole flash, but just to that piece of the flash enough to get in the right direction, if you will.
Yes. Just
it
about
definitely the angle definitely lines up though, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
absolutely.
Ty, let's take it into this two shooter aspect here, And the reason why you look for the
Yeah, yeah.
shooter to be up in that area, well, we've kind of discussed why the shooter would be there, but let's go into the two shooter aspect of this.
Yeah, let me go ahead and pull that video up for you guys real quick. I'm actually in my stuff now. And I think I'm gonna share a piece of the audio from that video just to make it a little bit easier for everybody. So we're gonna kind of just walk through that piece of the audio real quick, and then we'll talk about it after that. Screen share, entire screen, yes. How do I know that it happened just like this? Okay. Let me pull up another video for you guys so you can see something. Bring it to... All right. Now, on my YouTube channel, we are not going to Mars Operation. This is Charlie Kirk Operation 322. It's the only video on there as of right now. And everybody I'll have some more content on there soon. But it's a 2-hour long video, and it kind of shows a frame-by-frame breakdown of exactly how this operation was kind of underway, and too many things happened at exactly the same time for us to consider it anything other than a coincidence. The guy that you see here in the top circle right here, this gentleman right here, doing hand signals. His back, you're going to see here in the frame here in a second. This back.
And by the way, that is Dan.
Back.
That's Dan Flood, which is the chief security guy for Turning Point and Charlie.
Okay. All right. So Dan, I didn't know his name, but actually I try not to know any of their names, honestly. But Dan Flood is I guess this guy's name here. But you'll see that he moves his foot back just slightly, a couple inches. And you'll see that he moves his body positions to the sunlight, and he taps his arm twice. You'll see that this guy right here on cue turns at the same time. He has an earpiece in. So I think they have, the communication going between each other. And that means they're receiving a verbal communication from somewhere. Okay. And simultaneously, you'll see that with the part that Stephen Bennun found is the beam. This infrared beam here on this cell phone is exactly why I was able to kind of crack this whole thing and realize that, no, this is 100% an operation with too many simultaneous moving parts that seem to all meet up in the same place, Charlie Kirk. So I'm going to press play, stop talking so you guys can kind of see what we're talking about. Moving at the same time. This guy put out the signal, I believe, for the BA sniper, so that he can see. I'm about to show you how he positions his body to move it so that the BA sniper can actually see him. He puts himself in the sunlight and he takes a little bit of a step back as he gives the signal to take the shot. Simultaneous his shot with the recoil that comes from his hears it come over the microphone, and he turns and he takes his shot with the recoil that comes from his hand from his palm pistol.
Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
Oh, that really looked like at that time. There's probably 2 or 3 people in the crowd that have a gun.
Hang on.
I wish we could zoom that in because a lot of people,
you could see.
I would like them to see that bullet.
So it looks like he's pretending to pull.
No problem. Let's do that. There it is. Coming right here from his hand.
What this
You'll see
does,
the recoil of his hand back.
Yeah, what this really does good here as well, guys, is that with this information that Ty put together on the two shooters, everybody's been like arguing over, oh gosh, well, no, he was shot from the front. No, he's shot from the side. But he's actually shot from both. And this is what
exactly
they don't want you to know about.
Yep.
They don't. And I actually backed it up just a little bit so we can see that motion. What is his name again, Collin? Frank? Oh, no, what's this guy's name again?
Dan Flood. Yep.
Dan Flood. Okay, so we can see Dan Flood again. And this is Frank down here with the white hat, right?
Correct.
Okay, all right. Let's press play on this again. Here we go. This guy put out the signal, I believe, for the BA sniper, so that he can see. I'm about to show you how he positions his body to move it so that the BA sniper can actually see him. He puts himself in the sunlight and he takes a little bit of a step back as he gives the signal to take the shot. Simultaneously, this guy right here hears it come over the microphone, and he turns and he takes his shot with the recoil that comes from his hand from his palm pistol.
Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
Oh, that really looked like at that time. You know, there's probably 2 or 3 people in the crowd that have a gun.
Hang on.
Oh,
And then they say that you could see. So it looks like he's pretending to pull up his sleeve and he has a palm gun. That's what it looks like. And there's the bullet.
And again, his shot hit second, though. And I'm going to show you exactly where it hit. Matter of fact, let me show you where it hit first. So, you know, I'm not joking. Okay.
I have interesting info
there it
on
is.
Aviator guy, too.
It was right there the whole time. After the first shot hit him and expanded his neck and put this, what looked like, it looked like his microphone blew up. Now, you guys can see clearly the microphone did not blow up. It's still there. These are little magnets that slide off real easy. Anybody saying that this blew up, that it did not blow up. I don't know if it was set to blow up. That could be another theory, a possibility. Maybe it was a detonated device that just didn't go off in there. I don't know. But I know that it did not cause a discharge that went through Charlie's body or anything like that. So he was not shot with a camera phone from behind. That's not what took him out. He was not blown up by this device right here. That's not what took him out either. But what we all missed was right there in the middle of the screen. When Charlie's shirt was puffed out from getting hit in the back of the head from that first round. Now, mind you, you cannot fake the infrared beam. You can't fake the flash in the window. You can't fake the bullet coming at the same exact trajectory that the infrared beam was on. You cannot fake any of that stuff. If you have a bullet, if you have a gun muzzle flash in the window, if you have an infrared beam, trust me, the gun is somewhere in that direction, period. If you have a bullet, if you have a muzzle flash reflection, if you have an infrared beam, of all of that stuff. And the first thing that you follow is the infrared beam. And that's why I was able to figure out the BA position on the BA building for the sniper. Thank you again, Stephen Bennun. But this guy hits him right here in the front. Now, let me show you guys what that actually looks like so you guys can understand how this ended up, being Charlie's fate, how he got hit twice by these people. And nobody is showing this. This is the first time that this graphic has been shown. It's on We Are Not Going to Mars. That's my channel. This is what I was able to find because people were wondering how this area of the t-shirt went up. I'm going to show you how. All right, guys, let me go ahead and show you real quick, exactly frame by frame. Now that you guys understand where the BA sniper is, now that you also understand where the palm shooter is, let me go ahead and show you guys what it looks like frame by frame, so you know how the sniper shot hit first, and you'll understand how the shirt poofed out at the top. As the shirt was poofed out, as it was poofed out, he got hit from here, from about the left-hand side, right near the heart area. That's why I said Charlie Kirk had no chance. He passed away instantly. I'm sure he didn't even feel anything. He was eviscerated from the inside, and then he got basically hit in his heart. I know that's horrible sounding, and it is tragic. It's terrible. Hey, Steve, isn't this kind of what you showed earlier in that interview where the gentleman was speaking, and he said this is what he basically corroborates, is that he's seen him get shot in the chest?
Exactly. And this is what, that's why I wanted to play that before you actually played the clip of a two sniper shot. And we're starting to get more and more where I saw one video as I was looking for some videos a little bit earlier as we were getting started. One of the former snipers with, I forget which group he's with there. I think he's one of the Navy SEALs. He's talking about the expansion even in his back from a front shot chest wound. And so with that witness saying that, and then you have, as you've pointed out, he's hit with two different shots here. One to the
let me also point out, now I don't trust the death certificate or autopsy results or whatever, and they have not officially come out. But allegedly, they say that that his chest cavity was ruptured as well, that it was smashed in or whatever.
Yeah,
which would make sense with a front shot.
Yeah, it definitely could make sense, and it could make sense also because of, like I was saying, that the pressure that came down from the close range sniper round, that was close. And with the amount of expansion that happened, which we're about to see around this neck area, I mean, Jesus, that expansion, his neck literally looked like a tree trunk for half a second. And all of this under here would have been affected in that same exact way, creating a massive cavity, which is why I think there was so much blood flow. But I'm going to press play. We'll talk about it. But this is what they did to him. This is what they did. And then they blamed it on, political stuff and all this. And this is so far beyond politics that, I mean, this is just evil. So when his shirt was poofed out, mind you, his shirt is poofed out. As his shirt's poofed out, the second shot comes in and hits. Boom. And when it does, it hits. It sends that ripple of it being poofed out up like this, creating a temporary indentation in the middle of the shirt and raising it from where it was poofed out. That's exactly what happened, guys. Watch. Okay? Just pay attention and watch. Oh, pause that. Listen.
Almost see like.
Hold on. Turn it off. Sorry. He's going to pick up the microphone unless he's putting it down right here. Watch the shirt puff up. Right there, he's hit. Right here, Charlie Kirk is hit. Okay? This is the shot from the sniper. Let me get again, I'm on a cell phone.
Can you pause it right there for a second?
That's the shot from the sniper. Right there. Nothing blew up. You can see his thing is still in place. His earpieces flown out at this point in time frame is flying out. Some people thought it was maybe, some splatter coming out of the back of his head. Could be that too. But it's also the earpiece as well. I'll just say that. But the shot came in and look at his neck expansion. The neck completely expands. And I don't want to get too graphic here, but I want you guys to see how this part of the neck right here is pushed up and to the left, as all of this is right here is kind of blown out, if you will, from the expansion of the bullet dropping down into right here. Okay. Now pay attention to it. Again, I don't want it to be too graphic, but we took out the actual, from where the bullet came out, we took that part out. So here, again, the bullet hits right there. Okay. Now, at this very second, this next second, this is why it was all on cue and for the shots to go off at the same time so that all the shots ended up sounding like one. That is the second that he got hit with the second shot. Boom. Look at that. Center mass, guys. Right there is clear as day. Just like the graphic I showed you. Just so you know, I'm not like altering anything or anything like that. I'm just showing you what's actually there in front of your faces. Like they want to play us, but they don't understand. Some of us will take the time to go through this stuff frame by frame. I have now the muzzle flash, the infrared beam, the bullet. And again, I have a better video that's unblurred of the bullet that I... All right, guys. Now, what I'd like to do real quick is I'd like to take you to... Would be able to share. I'd like to take you to the one video where I'm actually showing the infrared beam, because in that one, I'm just kind of talking about it. But I'd like to actually show you the infrared beam so that you can see, and we'll talk through it here, on Steve's channel, so you can actually see this is what Steve actually found. And hold on, let me find this, the one with the palm gun at the top, the palm gun video. Palm gun video. Hold on one second, guys. There it is. All right.
This is your assassin.
So this is very, very simple, guys. This is the guy right here, Frank, right here, sitting, to Charlie's kind of to his back right a little bit, if you will. Now, let me show you guys in Google Earth where that would actually be, where he's standing. This is roughly about where Frank is standing, right here. Okay. He's standing right about here. Charlie's roughly about right here-ish. And Frank's actually kind of standing right here. So the sniper's line of fire of having a beam has to be such a tight window. And this is why I'm saying it can only be in here. It can't be anywhere else. And we know that it was nowhere on here because nobody was, on this deck at all. Now, Utah could be so nice and give us the camera footage that of the camera that's actually right here. There's a camera there, guys, and they could give us that camera footage. That would be very nice. So let me take you back to Frank
right
here.
here, guys. Right.
If we look at Frank's cell phone, and this is what Steve says, and Colin says, by his cell phone holds the secret. It's right here. Now, you see that light bouncing off of Steve's phone? That's an infrared beam, guys. That beam is the infrared beam. Now, what I was able to uncover in my video, and you guys can go over there and watch it. We're not going to recreate it frame by frame here. I'm just going to show you the infrared beam here. There you go. No, it's not the camera that's in the middle. This is a beam going over the phone. Now, the sniper made a mistake. They hit Charlie, and then they dropped the beam. Charlie was already hit, and then that's when the beam dropped. And you see Charlie went over, and you'll see here this video. I'll let you hear the videos too. The guys, the commentary is kind of funny, but I'll let you kind of hear this for a second so you can see this.
You just captured something there as well. When he turns, okay, when Frank turns that phone, if we can go really, really slow, his phone is changing positions. All right, so let's go real slow with that if we can. We're going to get a streak on there as well. You know, you also, there it is. See the streak when he turns?
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if that's not the laser streak. It seems to be the laser streak. Yeah, there it is right there. See the streak in there?
Yeah.
Yep.
But also, when we first get the laser hitting the phone when he's not moving, what do we got in the background? It makes you wonder almost. Okay, I see a guy standing right behind him there.
Yeah, so what happens right here is before he even gets hit, or before the laser shows up on the phone, sorry, what I like to do is pull it up on the phone right there and show. We'll stop it right there.
It bounces off
what I
because
like
he's
to show
loading
is
the gun.
so what we'll show is he's already hit and his earpiece is already raising right here.
Right.
His body is already extended. You can see his neck is already extended out at the kind of like the tree trunking of the neck, if you will. He's hit at that very moment, and that's when the sniper kind of drops his scope, his infrared beam. Yeah. So at that moment, we see Charlie's earpiece fly back right there.
That's actually his necklace, by the way.
No, this right here. This part up here is his earpiece. It's attached to his ear.
I have better video of that. That is 100% his necklace.
I have another video of this too, and this he has on a necklace. I'm not disputing you on that. That's his earpiece, though. That coming out of his ear, that's his earpiece. 100% earpiece. And I got the better video off of Candace's channel because she actually has the clear view of this back view right here that shows that actual earpiece coming up because she was trying to dispel the blood splatter from the back.
Yeah.
So she showed a clear video of the earpiece, and it was actually an earpiece coming out of his ear. I think she said it was a necklace too, but maybe she said it was a necklace. I don't know.
She said it was a necklace.
But it was clear that this earpiece was attached up here. Now, the shot that hit him in the front, I do think that shot broke his necklace. I cannot say that for certain. I don't know if it was the expansion of his neck and the tree trunking faction, and I have no idea what broke his necklace. But
I think the expansion did because you can see it. It seems like it snapped the clasp that holds it together or whatever, and that thing just went flying.
Yeah. It's. I mean, let's go in here. Just say. I mean, we don't want to be too gruesome here, but we're on the back side.
I mean, the necklace. It doesn't even make sense to argue whatever because that's not important. The necklace part isn't important. What's important is
you see right there in his ear. See how he has it in his ear, and it comes off of his ear.
There is, by the way, there are two different things. There is a silver necklace, but then there is a white wire that I've been able to actually blow up 600%. If you can
But
do
this
one
right
thing for
here,
me, when you've got
that
the phone and we get the laser, can we zoom in on that again? There's
yeah,
one point that I really want to capture as you're doing that. Guys, we're doing some of this stuff just right here in real time.
actually,
Not when he's
wait, let's
turning
do this.
away,
Let me
though.
do this. Hold on. It's going
Okay.
to be a little bit easier. Hold on 1 second. Sorry. Make sure I got the. Okay, it's going to be easier there. There we go. And you wanted me to get him while he's turning?
Not yet. Actually, before he's turning and the laser's hitting his phone, there's one image that's real clear, and the laser hits the phone there. See the where you can see the legs of the person in his phone? Right there.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. I'm going to get a couple of shots of this. Hang on, that one. All right, now let's do another one there. So when the laser comes in, right there. All right, what I'm curious about is even though the laser hits that, what is that doggone thing there? I'm gonna look at it while you can continue on there for a minute. I wanna take and let's see
Yeah, we
here.
can see his shirt kind of poof up and poof back real quick, and it's kind of you see the neck part go out, or there you go. Hold on, right there up near the neck. Yeah, I mean it is really horrible what happened to Charlie, and the fact that and this guy just seems to be just so happy about everything that day. Um, from doing, here to being in, I'll even show the other photo of him. Those three just kind of like jumping over the table at the time, and somebody took a photo. And I find it just disturbing, all of their actions, that day. Um, when you think about professionalism and how those things are supposed to go, where did that photo go? I wonder if I ended up uploading that photo. Anyway, you guys can find a photo of after they jumped over the table, and
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
it's
I've
just
seen that too. Yeah,
yeah,
where
you've
they're
seen it,
handing
and
off
Yep.
stuff.
it looks like he's smiling back there, and I'm I don't you don't have to agree with Charlie Kirk or be a big fan of Charlie Kirk to have a moral sense of things, and
Exactly.
I feel like, the morality has to exist somewhere in here where people like this have to be held, accountable. And I don't know what we can do as far as a society, and maybe talking to, I don't know who we talk to, because to be
because remember
honest,
what we did in the beginning.
all I
This
know is
wall
we
is too
just
high.
have to keep
You can't.
uncovering, what has happened
Sniper
here,
was in
because
this location.
it seems like the people we want to talk to fix this, you want to be able to call law enforcement, but you don't know who to call because you don't know how deep this thing really goes. So
Before we go any further into the roof guy, why don't I go over the stuff that I found on the aviator sunglasses guy, the guy that did the palm gun guy, because I found some real interesting stuff about him.
yeah, absolutely. Let me go ahead and take my screen share off for you guys, and get back to it over here.
If you guys can get me any of the most highest quality video that we could get of
I can get it for you.
Frank's
Yeah, I got you.
phone.
I've
I
sent
I
you
really
pretty
want
much
to look at
everything
that
I
phone.
have in DMs. So if you go back to the DMs, you'll find pretty much every video that I've ever had on it.
I'll upload all of my high quality stuff into a folder later on tonight, and I'll shoot you the link so you can just get all of it.
Okay.
All right. So first off, the guy with the aviator sunglasses that looks like he's doing the palm gun or whatever, or triggering something on his arm.
Right.
His name is Rick Cutler. And he is also part of Charlie's security. Now, the stuff I found out about him is before working with Charlie, he was a cop down in Dallas for, I think I don't know, it was like 15 years or something like that. It's been a while. He was a cop down in Dallas for a long time. And then he went to work for NGOs, Israeli NGOs.
Of course.
One of them being in Guatemala. Here, let me read this.
And before you read that, let me just say, guys, I remember when they tried to cover up my partner's crimes by faking his death. And I'm not saying Charlie's is fake. I'm just trying to give you an example here. I got a phone call because one partner that we had made a lot of ruckus about it, and they killed him. Another CIA operative retired, they shot him. I got a phone call not long after it happened, letting me know that he was dead.
One on X, and
And then I was told, you understand, don't you, Steve? When I say this, keep in mind there are people, and I can't help but think about Frank when I think about this, right? Because I see that he's got courage to say some things publicly, but at the same time, there's also this little things that get dropped in your ears to let you know, keep your mouth shut, or be careful how you speak about it. And so it just makes me a little leery when I watch, Candace Owens, brilliant young lady, putting out some very courageous material, evidence that she's putting out. Tucker Carlson doing the same thing. And you cannot help but wonder if there's not a deeper, sinister plot. I mean, let's face it, right now, Israel has gotten away with a genocide in Gaza, flat out gotten away with it. And they know they got away with it, right? They got away with it. The world has done nothing to stop them. That is bold and an embrazenment beyond anything you could ever imagine. So think about it as you listen to what Collin is about to share with you now.
So this guy, Rick Cutler, when he left the police, then he went to work with United Rescue Alliance, URA. And he was the director of training and logistics, and that's in Guatemala since 2019. And they're an Israeli company, by the way, but they are connected to what they do is go into like disaster relief areas and do aid and do operations, and like if there's an earthquake or hurricanes and stuff like that. So that's the first one. Then after he left that, then he went to work for Jews for Jesus. And we also, he talks about all this. There's an interview I posted. It's a half-hour long interview. I'm not going to play the whole thing because it's a long interview. But if you watch it, it's on my channel where he goes and you see this in his own words. He says all this stuff about, going to Guatemala and the Jews for Jesus and the Underground Railroad and stuff. But anyway, so he works for Jews for Jesus. This is the next NGO he works with. And then from there, he goes to work with United Hatzalah, which is Israel's volunteer EMS army. Steve might know a little something about them.
Continue on. I know what you're talking about. And
then lastly that I could find on him is his connection to Operation Underground Railroad, which has been, one of the largest sex trafficking NGOs in every country, like 40 different countries. It's crazy. But he was the one tasked with running the counterintelligence ops for them and teaching the other people how to do counterintelligence and stuff. But that was his job with them. So yeah, and he also, by the way, in that I'm sure that I can't. I don't have perfect connections to it, but Erica Kirk. If you know anything about her organization, Romanian Angels, but that was also involved in children and all. They were. I'm not going to say for sure, but allegedly her organization was involved in a whole bunch of missing children connected to child trafficking or whatever. Like, I'm not just throwing shade. I'm just saying that I can't prove that. I'm just telling you what I have heard, and there are ties to the security people back to Erica Kirk's organization. So I just want to make that clear. But yeah, so I mean that you have.
Says, and I like what Candace says as far as I believe she has this too in episode. I'm gonna keep saying episode 251 is controversial, but episode 251 is there's just a lot of firsts. There's a lot of first, and there's a lot of new stuff. So when we look at this situation and we see all these, we'll just say familiar ties. I think this is a first for an event of this size for Charlie Kirk, where so many people had so many familiar ties to the same place. And, that's strange. That's just strange. And I think you have a video that you're going to show us here soon, talking about some of that stuff too. That kind of, we can talk about the,
we'll get into that.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Charlie Kirk, the three of us know, and anybody watching this knows without a shadow of a doubt that Charlie Kirk was shot twice. It's undeniable at this point in time. The narrative that's out in the media, it's absolutely incorrect. It has to stop. We have to start being a lot more truthful. But I think you have something now that you're going to show us that, kind of going back to the theme of what you're saying as far as these ties are concerned, because I think that's really where you were going as far as the ties.
Everything is being linked back to Israel. As much as people hate to hear that, and I can't 100% sure that they are the ones that did it, but it's very, very odd and very concerning that everything is linking back to Israel in one way or another. I mean, even so much so as this guy Rick right here, you can see on his arm his tattoo, Yeshua. That right there is Jesus in Hebrew.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much all I wanted to share with that. I just wanted everybody to understand. I know the last live we did, I went into Dan Flood and all his connections, including his Israeli connections. And I wanted to then go through Rick Cutler and show you that, guess what? He too is connected to Israel as well.
One of the things that what we can do, and kind of concluding for tonight, can you share, Collin, about the airplane that flew over and who that airplane belongs to, etc.?
Sure.
Yeah,
Let me go ahead and pull that up.
Interesting, right there.
Yeah, this video I was able to find today, and I'm not the one that broke it. There's this guy on YouTube that broke it. I shout out to him. I'll give you his name in a minute, but he does a great job here. Let me find it. There it is. Yeah, Baron Coleman on YouTube. Everybody should definitely go to subscribe to him. But Baron Coleman, he put out a video after it happened, after the Charlie Kirk assassination. He decided to go through and check all of the Google Trends search history, the Google search history on all the key players in the Charlie Kirk investigation.
Such a smart
For example,
idea.
Exactly. So, he looked at people like the medical examiner. He looked at the tail number of the spy plane, the U.S. Army spy plane that was up there. He looked at the brand new FBI director for Salt Lake City. He looked at the Utah public safety guy. He looked at the I forget his name, but the kid that asked the question that has connections to both Jimmy Kimmel and also to Destiny.
Yeah, you're talking about the kid that was practicing his reaction before.
Yeah, that is seen. Practicing
reaction.
the reactions ahead of time. Yep.
Wow.
So, so he did all this, and he come to find out when he did all these searches that sure enough, all these people were queried or looked up prior to Charlie being killed, and most of them fall in a range of like a week or two either way of June 20th. So around 2 months before Charlie was shot, you have people, and it's Israeli IP addresses, by the way. Every one of these guys that have pinged back the query came from an Israeli IP address. Now that could it be a VPN, somebody trying to spoof Israel? Obviously it could be, who knows? But it's questions that need to be raised because everything points to Israel. Every one of these guys, there's big spikes. I'll show you the video. I'll let him explain. But there's big.
Look, if somebody was trying to spoof Israel, they would have had to put in a lot of work 2 months prior to, so I think that this guy's information, I mean, this is some good information right here. Pay attention.
Oh, for sure. For sure. All right, so let me find. We're not like I said. He's got a long video. I'm in the process currently of cutting it down into just the meat and potatoes, and I'll put that on my channel probably tomorrow. But for now, let me just try to find the important parts here.
Out who is the guy they just arrested?
Okay, so he
in the District
George
of Columbia. I'm assuming this is everybody racing to the computer to figure out who is the guy they just arrested. I don't know what this is. Maybe a few days later, people go. But look here, July 20th. Now, this July 20 is going to become very important tonight. The week around July 20th is going to become exceedingly important. And the amount of coincidences that take place between like a week before and a week after July 20 and all that time in between becomes very difficult to set aside, to disregard. So the fact that this was the first thing I looked up during this go around of searches, George Hodgson Zinn, that's the full name of the guy that they first arrested. You remember, this is the old guy who stands up within seconds of Charlie Kirk being assassinated. I did it. I shot him. And then as they're dragging him away, his pants fall down. He's like, shoot me. That's George Hodgson Zinn. And he was searched, or this term was searched, according to Google, with an IP address originating in the District of Columbia on July 21, 2025. And again, I tell you, keep the anchor date around July 20 in your mind tonight. Hospital, that's there where they took Charlie Kirk.
Okay, here's
did that. I thought
they also looked up the hospital, which he's going to go into right here.
But I wonder if anybody Googled the hospital where they took Charlie Kirk. Wonder if anybody Googled the hospital where they took Charlie Kirk. They took him to Timpanogos Regional Hospital. That's there in the district. I mean, that's there in Utah. They have, I think, a campus in Orem, Utah. So I go District of Columbia. Here's where, again, on September 10th, 11th, right there, you see the searches for Timpanogos Regional Hospital, people looking for where they took Charlie Kirk. But you'll see this spike of interest in Timpanogos Regional Hospital out of D.C., and then no interest for 2 solid months before the shooting. But again, keep in mind that July 20 anchor date. Here we have a July 16, 2025. And then we have a July 3, and we have a June 28. And if you go out 12 months, you'll notice you even had one back then, and then this all kind of goes out. So something's going on here at the Timpanogos Regional Hospital search. And then right the day before the shooting, somebody in the District of Columbia says, we should really make sure we know what the Timpanogos Regional Hospital is. We really should make sure we know the day before he gets shot. So you had that July 20 anchor date, the time around there. You had a time way back. That could be anything. And then the day before, somebody zeroes in and says, we need to look up Timpanogos Regional Hospital. Maybe they're looking up an address. Maybe they're looking up, who knows? Who knows? But again, I'm just reporting the facts. I wonder who the medical examiner is.
And by the way, some of these hits come back to both Washington, D.C. and Israel. So that could also tell you a few things as to maybe why the FBI is not being honest.
Yeah.
In Utah. I wonder who the medical examiner is in Utah, because it appears to me, based on everything I've looked at, that Charlie Kirk may not have had an autopsy, which I find shocking. Shocking. Because an autopsy could give you a lot of things, such as what angle did the...
You say something, Steve?
And doesn't that line up with the police record that you had pulled up, Collin?
Yeah, I was the first one to go through the audio of the police from that day, and you have the audio of them, and it's been widely known. They credit it to somebody else, unfortunately, but it's been widely known that on that audio it says that that there's no autopsy, and Erica Kirk is going to come sign off on it.
You're right, that's not even legal.
And it's not even legal. I pointed out that's not legal in Utah by law in homicide cases, especially violent homicide cases like this. There has to be an autopsy. The family cannot, nobody, even the medical examiner. Like the medical examiner has discretion in a lot of cases, but when it comes to that particular type of case, they don't even have discretion. It's mandatory autopsy.
Yeah, it's pure law. It's absolutely mandatory.
And now Candace is saying that, and that's another thing I want to point out to my audience, is Candace did say that she's been told there is an autopsy or whatever, but, and I don't think she's lying, like I said to my audience, I don't think she's lying. I think that that's what she's being told. I think that's the credible information she's being told, but that information is either wrong or it's made up. That's what I'm going to say.
Well, it could, keep in mind, it could have been overridden as well, because the guy in your audio recording does say, well, we'll play this by ear. So even though they're announcing that, it doesn't mean that they didn't end up changing that afterwards. But now, will they ever release the true information from it? Probably not.
Well, that's my point. I'm not, even I'm not discrediting that they may have done an autopsy. But I'm saying that based on what Candace said is in the autopsy, that he was shot from the front, and that's an entry wound, and that's what the autopsy says.
That's incorrect.
I call complete bullcrap. That's 100% bullcrap. So it's got to be fake. That tells me if there is an autopsy that says that, it's fake.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I was going to key in on. Even if we do get an autopsy, there's nothing to say that the autopsy will be real. I mean, it's just that would be the dumbest thing in the world, to put this much effort into an absolute operation and then give a real autopsy. Yeah, so exactly. If it's not independent, somebody who's outside of the circle, and obviously what this guy is doing right now, and it's the way I was able to triangulate the data that you guys provided, is the way that he's triangulating the data of everybody who was on the ground that day. Exactly. And it's all leading back to one place or two, depending on how you look at it.
Let's take, and Collin, we'll wrap it up with this part here. You continue to show what he shows here, and then we'll call it an evening here. And I'll probably have to process all in the morning, because it'll need to render, and then I need to edit out that one part there for Tai.
All right.
Private information for those that are listening. It's nothing to do with something crazy, right?
Nothing to do with just private information. It's an address. I don't want my family's address across the internet in my private Google Maps.
Oh, and
especially with the information we're putting out.
I finally figured out who they're trying to say that because there's people are trying to say that I was there at the thing there. It's that guy, the old guy sitting back there up against the wall with the long beard on, right? Do you know for the longest time I was trying to figure, I watched him like a hawk. And then somebody puts out that
I'm unfamiliar with who you're speaking about, honestly.
I didn't send it to him. I just sent it to you, Steve. So he doesn't know what we're
Okay.
talking about.
Yeah, so somebody posted that I was the actual guy that did it and that it's me, and I shaved my beard afterwards. And I'm like, gosh, how did I manage to make all these videos before and after and during and then run and go and grow a
Steve
beard
is
and
active. And he found the infrared beam of himself.
Oh my gosh, crazy.
You did a good job, Steve.
Yes.
You found the infrared beam of yourself. Now, people will say anything out there on the internet, but I think that's why it was also so important to start off the segment by, having a small retraction there on just a small piece of the information, which is absolutely inconsequential to the rest of the data that we're providing, especially to anything dealing with the fact that he was shot, Charlie Kirk was shot twice. But it's just so important that, because of all the craziness out there on the internet, you got to know who you can trust. You got to know who the people are who are willing to take ego out of it and willing to say, hey, we stand on our research, we stand on our information, and here, look at it for yourself. See if there's anything that I can grow upon, anything that I can learn that's new. So it's not about selling something that's right. It's about saying, hey, can we all agree that this is right by having all the available data that's necessary?
Exactly.
I've changed my story many times, actually, because you follow the evidence, how it goes. That's what real journalism is. You're not going to get it right every time, but what's important is you have to have the integrity to go back and say, hey, in this instance, I was not right. I've been corrected. More information have come out. This is now what I believe happened.
I also say, I've had people hitting me up on my, video, and I understand that Candace Owens is a strong voice, and she's the person who's out front, and she is the one who, none of us knew Charlie Kirk personally. Candace Owens knew Charlie Kirk personally, so we have to give respect to that. But people are coming to me because of episode 251, and I dropped my video a couple days before she made that video, and obviously she hadn't seen mine before she made 251. So she had the data that she had that day. And I think that, we should all provide a little bit of grace to folks who may not have all the data up front. And Collin said something that was absolutely important just a few minutes ago. She's going off of the information that she's being given. Now, some of that information is going to come from trusted individuals. Some of it's going to come from individuals that have alternate agendas. And we have to be, wary, of that and understand that Candace Owens is a human, just like all of us. Yes. And she's going to try to do the best that she can. But one thing that I do know, and I can tell, Sis is truthful. She's as truthful as she can be because she enjoys having a good reputation, and she's worked hard to have a very good reputation. So all you guys and girls out there that, may think that she's saying, this and it doesn't make sense. And no, give her grace. Give Candace Owens grace. She's trying to get it right, just like everybody else is trying to get it right. So if she doesn't get every little detail or piece right, give her a little bit of grace. Know that she will come around and she's going to get to the truth.
And I guarantee she's also withholding stuff that she knows that she's not publicizing yet because she wants to make sure it's correct. Exactly. Yeah. So, you really got to give her respect. She's not out there trying to be first or be right. She's making sure that everything she's putting out is meticulous and can be backed up, and she has receipts for her.
She does it with very good intentions. It's personal for her. It's a very dear friend of hers, and so she just needs everyone's support. And if you've got information, if nothing else, get it to that young lady there because she's definitely wanting to get this completely true.
I really think that we should be talking about. So in episode 251, she was absolutely right, and it's the first time she publicly came out and said it. There's 2 shots. She now knows that, and she's so close to knowing how those 2 shots actually happened. And I think that this information and this data is exactly what she needs to see to further this. And plus some of the stuff that Collin is finding around this as well. He went to the other staircase. So can we get some footage, some more people with footage on that other staircase? We have nothing from that staircase. So, you know, I really think that's why I'm pulling in on this 2-shot agenda so tough, because it completely takes away the focus of anybody who's still trying to tell Candace or lie to Candace and give her bad information that he was shot in the neck. Anything that deals with these Superman bones or shots that don't come out, that all that fantasy fairy tale stuff it has to go away if this is what people are selling her, because the cold hard facts are there and she's going to get to them either way. So that's why I'm urging everybody out there, if this what we're doing here resonates with you and what you see here between Steve Bennun, and he's had his channel since 1762. Like
1776, get it right.
17, yeah. Well, I didn't want to say that particular number. You know, he's had his channel since, you know, forever. And Collin is literally in these internet streets. Like, I went to bed, I woke back up, he's still typing. I'm like, what?
Him and I were talking 4 o'clock in the morning, man. I don't sleep. I like when I say I've been on this 24/7 since it happened, I am not joking. I mean, I've fallen asleep on my computer, I don't know how many times, trying to either edit or research stuff for this.
Between you and between Steven, like there's an army of people. We have a nice little army of us that are doing this, you know, thing here, but we're trying to get the information to Candace. We really are trying to get good, solid, truthful, honest information that took collectively thousands of hours to actually build and find. And it's not just us. It's the people that we're crowdsourcing data and information from as well. I mean, there's a host of people who are clamoring and desperate to get the truth about this, because I think we all feel the same thing. It feels like a mockery. Yeah. It feels like they're doing this to all of us, regardless of our political affiliation.
It's deliberate, 100% like deliberate.
Let me say this real quick, guys, and because I'm going to have to wrap it up pretty soon here.
Yeah, I want to try to get this one point out.
One bit of information that I would like to see, if someone can go, and if you happen to be near that area or you're able to go to Utah, where that flash is in the window that Collin picked up. If you could get at that very point, put your head up against the window close to that door. There's a glass door that opens right there. Take a picture going back up towards that reflective wall that Tai Norman is talking about. What I'm wanting to do is triangulate that reflection to that reflective wall to see, and even go up if you're able to go up there to where the wall is, and then also the lower wall there, and make pictures back down towards that door area from different angles there, and then from that same spot, pan yourself around, turn and photograph then towards that roof right there that comes down at an angle, or even down in that other area that Norman has talked about. If you can get video of it, but then pan real slow for us there. It really would help to try to pinpoint where a shooter could have been at. So,
absolutely.
Collin, can you wrap up that part there, and then we're going to call it an evening here.
Yeah, I just want to. So far, I've shown the hits to DC. Let me show at least one hit to Israel, and then let me go. The plane is important too. Let me get to the plane part real quick, and then we'll end on that.
The bullet come in? Where did the bullet go? What type of bullet was it? What damages were done to the organs? Were there any other injuries? And this is going to come up in a minute. Were there any other injuries anywhere else in the body? And so I wondered who the medical examiner was there in Utah. And I looked her up. She's a woman named Deidre Amaro. And she was looked up, but this time not in the District of Columbia, but in Israel, which I thought was very strange. June 30th of 2025. In Israel. June 30th, 2025, an IP address originating in Israel. Again, we talked last week about the ways IP addresses can end up somewhere. But Deidre Amaro, the medical examiner there in Utah.
Collin?
Yeah.
Let me just share something with you guys. I really want you to understand how serious this is, and especially for me personally and my family. And I'm not going to go into this very much, but I just want to touch on this a moment. When our family was targeted, my father-in-law died. The cover-up of his death is enormous. There are 4 medical examiners that signed off that it was natural causes. There was a doctor that allegedly signed off it was natural causes, and according to the record, 7 times he actually saw my father-in-law, which was all a lie, only to find out that very doctor, after there's been a homicide investigation started and the pathologist in my father-in-law's case that we hired determined that it was a homicide, and then a second pathologist nobody hired, but he happened to know about the case. He saw we were trying to contact him, then he came in voluntarily, examined, determined as homicide, demanded an FBI investigation. Now, what I want to say is this, in light of what he's saying right here, what this man here just said, the doctor that they alleged was the hospice doctor that signed off for my father-in-law 7 times that he saw him and said that it was that he died of natural causes, came forward just recently. And he stated to my wife, and he finally submitted the paperwork publicly. He said, I never seen this man in my life. I never signed his death certificate. It was all done fraudulently. And then he talked about how that he's being not threatened, but told, you need to not do this. You need to run from this as far as you can. Stay away from this case. But above all the pressure, he went ahead and he also counseled with the pathologist that did say it was a homicide. And he called my wife up personally and he says, I am so sorry for what has happened to your family. He said, but your father was murdered.
Absolutely.
So they will cover it up and they will go to great lengths. You have no idea. We've been through more cover-ups than you could ever imagine, not to mention I know it for a fact.
Absolutely.
100%. All right.
Can I leave you guys with something before we get up out of here, if you don't mind?
Yes.
I'm going to screen share something with you. 2 things. One of them is from Candace, just to kind of show, and it's something that we need here, us 3 guys, we need.
Can you drop down for a moment, Collin, so we can see Ty's there, and then we'll come right back and finish off with what you got here.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Go ahead. All right.
All right. Let me see here. Go into. Oh, sorry. Hold on, guys. Well, I guess we can kind of do that too, to be honest with you.
Yep, they all do their watches at the same time.
Yeah, we'll do that in a second. I'll show you guys that in a second. I was just looking at that. Candace is requesting, and so are we, any kind of photos. This was in episode 250. Any kind of photos from the red spot right there. I believe one of her producers made this image. This area right here, and I'd even be as bold as saying this area specifically right here.
Yes.
Okay. Anything right there, anything, guys, anything, literally anything from right there. Please, please, please find it for us. Please send it to us. We need that angle more than anything, we need that angle.
I will say too, that there proved what I believed I'd seen before, and that is on both sides of the back of the tent, there were cameramen that did, even though it is a wide open area there, the more you see it. So
Yeah.
it does kind of make me question my theory, unless they're kind of covering for somebody, but there were cameramen on both sides of that tent.
You can kind of see what it looked like back there too. Oh, look, there's a security camera right there in the corner. Has anybody talked about that?
Oh, wow, no,
Right
they
there.
have not.
It's
Brilliant,
right there.
brilliant. Candace,
Look who
there you
that
go,
guy
honey.
is. Who's that guy right there?
Right here?
Yeah.
Who is that? I don't know
I
who
don't
he
know.
is.
That looks he.
I don't know.
When's this video taken?
This is right before, just a few minutes before the shot. But if anybody knows
Okay, it
about
can't be
that
him then. It
camera,
must be somebody else.
if anybody can go underneath this bridge and get us a clear shot of that camera to see if there is a security camera there, but that does look like a security camera, guys.
And there's also a security camera on the bridge as well on the other side, for sure. I've seen in other videos.
All right, so let's watch this, guys, just so you guys can see this real quick. This is why I called it Operation 322, because this was purely an operation. This had nothing to do with some lone gunman named Tyler Robinson who was just upset about things that Charlie Kirk was saying. It had nothing to do with that, okay, guys? Absolutely nothing to do with that. And I'm going to play you this real quick just so you can see it. Come on, you can't make it up.
And someone else also pointed out to me that the watches that they're wearing can also communicate. They can also send messages and stuff.
Yeah, there's all kinds of high-tech stuff that's happening right here. A lot of things that are happening that just don't make any sense. I love this video because he talks about the guy, running to the back, him right there, the guy who took the SD card out the camera, and why he actually ran to the back, and he's up here. So there's a lot of weird things that happen. Now we know somebody threw something on the bridge. This guy standing back here, everybody was just doing stuff that they shouldn't have been doing. When something like this happens, something that's tragic like this, and leading up to this, there's too many anomalies that would suggest collusion, if you will. I'm going to turn off my screen share. That would suggest collusion, and instead of actually just some lone gunman who just happened to be the perfect undetected person on the campus with a long rifle, one that you can't easily break down, who just happened to get on top of a building. We still have no idea how he got up there. And then happened to hop off the side of this building. And he was even running before he would even have any time to break down the weapon. So none of that story makes sense. And in your head and your heart, it doesn't make sense. We are trying our hardest right here to show you what's actually truthful with ethical journalism, and showing you, even mistakes, along the way. But one thing that is not a mistake, Charlie Kirk was shot twice. That is undeniable. He was shot twice. And we want Candace Owens to see it because we know she's right. She's getting right information about that. He was shot twice. She just has the order of how it happened a little bit wrong. And we want to just help her to understand how it happened. So once she gets on the right path, it's over with. She's going to figure out everything else as well, too. And she's going to be able to get more tips in than we could ever imagine. So get this information to her, guys. Let her know, tag her, send it to her tips line. But we got to let her know that she's right. She's right. Charlie Kirk was absolutely shot twice.
And here's just listening to this right here. Here's your proof. Well, maybe I got to share it real quick so you can hear it. And then I'm going to give it back to Collin to close this out here. Let me
really appreciate you guys letting me be here and let me jump in on this interview with you guys. Thank you.
Here's your two shots. Ready?
Yes.
And I'm going to put that up on the screen right here. But then we're going to refresh to make sure that everything we hear is fresh news not old news, because when this happens, 429 was literally an hour ago. They might have caught the guy since then, right?
Figure out that.
Stream media. And we've done our best to vet these as best we can with all of the latest updates. Governor, as of 7:29 p.m. Eastern time, says a person of interest is in custody following Charlie Kirk shooting death. And I'm going to put that up on the screen right here.
I've actually lost. Oh, wait, here it is. This is the guy right here. Hang on. I had it in the wrong spot. Let me back it up just a tiny bit.
No worries at all.
There we go.
And he wasn't with us. He had gone up higher and met up with a friend. He got locked down in a building for a while, but that wasn't very long. I'd actually never even went into a building.
Okay.
I stayed outside the whole time.
Okay. Are all your friends accounted for and they've been able to say what's going on, Chandler? Are cops going door to door looking for this guy now still? What's going on?
Yeah. So I have a couple. They shut it down pretty quick. And another indication of why I didn't think it was that guy, because SWAT was called onto the scene and they were sweeping the buildings immediately.
Shot happened and he said he was locked down, but then they kicked him out of the building pretty quick. I had a son that ran, and he wasn't with us. He had gone up higher and met up with a friend. He got locked down in a building for a while, but that wasn't very long. I'd actually never even.
I must have missed it somewhere, but that guy right there actually talks about 2 shots.
Yeah, they shut it down pretty quick. And another indication of why I didn't think it was that guy, because SWAT was called onto the scene and they were sweeping the buildings immediately, trying to find a second suspect. And so they shut down where we were. They basically crowded everyone that ran behind where Charlie Kirk's car left. They crowded us, said, "Hey, everyone stay here if you were eyewitnesses." And then I have friends that basically everyone went home and there's cops knocking on door to door. Hospitals are closed down and they're basically shutting everything down and sweeping it as we speak, trying to find the suspect.
Okay. How you doing, man?
I don't think it'll hit me until probably after adrenaline and stuff wears off. So, it's first time I've been
about a person of interest in custody following Charlie Kirk's shooting death, but it seems to be just that same original person, which means
he was closer even more than I was. Yeah.
Okay. Jeez. Awesome.
Okay, somewhere in this video, and I apologize, I don't have it on here, but that young man there actually talks about there being 2 shots, that he could distinctly hear 2 shots, and so I apologize for not getting that.
Oh no, you're fine, because there's all kinds of video footage. So recently, Candace put out some footage that I think is absolutely. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and that'll be the second video that I put out on YouTube. I'm going to show multiple people who said that there was multiple shots. I'll go ahead and put together a compilation of that, because it's now undeniable that there was multiple shots. It's undeniable that people have seen a center mass shot. These things are undeniable, we have to stop acting like we don't know these things to be true now, when we now know that there was absolutely more than 1 shot. The ladies, when Phil, matter of fact, let me put this out here on this show. I'll say it on this show. Before I won't even bother to put this on other channel. I'll just say it here. So Candace said in her episode, she was talking about basically how or was it Candace or was it somebody else? Oh, no, it was Candace. She was talking about basically how there was grooming that was going on to kind of like coerce the people into what they should have heard. You heard 1 shot, right? You heard 1 shot. So what she didn't catch is when she played the clip with Phil Lyman, and he walked out of the building and he ran into the 2 girls that he considered goth girls. His very first reaction to them and very first thing to them was, "Hey, the shot came from right over here, right?" So in him saying that, he's already trying to tell these 2 girls kind of suggestive. Yeah. And knowing that the LC Center is literally 15 feet 20 feet, maybe 25 feet behind him and a couple stories, a level up. So it felt like he was trying to groom these people in this video so that he can maybe use this video as an asset for later. Beware of that if you ever see Phil Lyman trying to use that video. This is not about Phil Lyman, but it's really about the nature of how some of these things came to be. And again, Candace talked about it in her show. So as he's saying that to them, to these two girls, they basically refute what he's saying quickly and like, no, it kind of came from over, the shots came from over there. So, and then they say 2 shots. It's clear as day. You can read the subtitles of that text too. So even the girls that were there in the courtyard in the raised up balcony, who would have been closest to Tyler Robinson, they were already outside before Phil Lyman got out there. They would have been closest to Tyler Robinson, and they would have confirmed, no, it actually sounded really close to us. It was right behind us. It was 1 shot. And they refuted him immediately. Meanwhile, he's saying, hey, it sounded like it came from over there, and he was not even outside. He wasn't even outside. He was inside the building when the shot happened. He had to come outside. Why would he be suggesting anywhere where the shot could have possibly came from?
Exactly. That's exactly right. Very good.
Yep.
Thank you, Ty. Now, let's wrap it up with what we got here.
Gotcha.
Somebody with an IP address originating in Israel decided they were very interested in Deidre Amaro. And lest you think I didn't check, the reason I'm not showing you others, go to the District of Columbia, for example, not there. You can even go to Utah and see. Not there. So if it's not in the District of Columbia and it's not in Utah, this is not a very common search, is what I'm pointing out here. Not a very common search at all. But there it was in Israel. So I thought that's weird.
So this guy, not only did he check the trend history on these people's name, but he also excluded it, check other dates and make sure this isn't like a common search that happens all the time. No, it's nothing. Nobody searches it for the longest time, and that on the specific dates that he's talking about, boom, we get hits, that's what's suspicious.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
And I'll spare you, but he goes on to say, if you watch his video, and I'll put out a meat and potato version of it on my channel tomorrow, but there's a bunch of, he goes through each one of these people by name and shows you on the graph that they all pinged at the exact same time. They were all queried around that exact same time and all by Israel with an IP address in Israel. And the other thing, I will play this, which is the plane, which is the very important part that I want to get out. And the plane also, once again, pinged to Israel. But he also has some more information about that plane, which is very, very important.
Yeah, we spoke about that plane yesterday and whether, kind of speculating on it. But now knowing for sure that there was a plane in the area from the, from what I could see on his tracker, there was the El Paso, Texas area.
And it was very, very low, too.
Yeah, that was crazy. That's crazy.
And that's what you hear overhead. That humming noise that you hear in the videos, it's from this jet. But anyway, I'll go ahead and play this.
Was just absolutely baffled by this story. This is a guy named John Cullen. Think of him what you will. A lot of people have strong opinions about him, but he's one of these, what I used to call a Twitter terrorist. A guy, a Bombardier Global 6500 with the tail number November 1098 Lima. And on the day Charlie Kirk was died, it made 2 very interesting flights and deviations from flights. It had booked a flight, or it had flight plans from, I think, New Mexico to Montana, which would take it right near Orem, Utah, the site of the rally. This was not an unusual flight for this plane. But on the day of the shooting, it actually dropped. This plane can go up to 51,000 feet cruising altitude. It's a U.S. spy plane, basically. And on the day of the shooting, it comes all the way down to 203 or 204 feet off the deck, off the ground, and it's flying at nearly stall speed. The first time it did that was heading north on its path to Montana. It deviates from its flight plan. It comes down to from 30 to 50,000 feet in the air. It comes all the way down to 204 feet. And it flies within 2 miles of the campus
And let me just point out, 200 feet is so low. A football field is only 300 feet long. So you're talking this plane, this jet was only less than, it's 2/3 of a football field from the ground. That is how low this thing was.
That's
and ridiculous. It was also going very, very slow to where he's going to get into that in a minute.
So Utah Valley University at 204 feet. You know how low that is in the air? 204 feet.
And it was right above Utah Valley University when this happened.
At nearly stall speed, like 113 knots or 118 knots. I can't remember. This right here says 129 knots where they picked it up. And then on the way back, and then it goes back up. And on the way back, 25 minutes after Kirk was assassinated, it comes back through the Orem, Utah area, back down to 203 or 204 feet, the exact same height it flew before, at nearly the exact same speed, 25 minutes after Kirk was assassinated. Nearly stall speed. A gust of wind could have knocked that plane out of the sky. And then it goes back up and on its way. Well, I thought, and then remember this tail number here, N1098L, November 1098 Lima. So I think that's a weird thing. I mean, that's unusual. So let's look it up. Let's look up November 1098 Lima. And let's see, just for the sake of argument, is there anybody in the world who was curious about this plane at this time? And in fact, I did find somebody. And if I can find the dadgum tab, I'll tell you who it was. What did I do with it? That was 28 Lima. Cool transition, and then it wasn't. I found November 1098 Lima. It was searched again out of Israel in the weeks leading up to the shooting. August 8th, a month and 2 days before the shooting, a month and 2 days before this plane does a very weird 200-foot flyby of the campus at nearly stall speed. Now, we've learned since that this plane has the capacity to deploy drones. I've seen news articles, I've seen videos. This plane, this jet, is a U.S. government contracted spy plane. It has the ability to deploy drones. Somebody with an IP address originating in Israel, again, we talked about all the ways that can happen, took an interest in this particular tail number about 32 days before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Maybe it's related, maybe it's not. So,
and also about the drones, there were drones, besides the fact that I broke the story that Charlie's security team themselves had at least one drone up that day. Because Frank Turk is the one, I have video of him saying that, proving that. But also there were other drones that we could see up in the skies that day. I have multiple drones. We have video of multiple drones flying around. So this was, and this spy plane, the fact that it can release drones from it, also very, very odd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's super odd. There's something wrong with that.
Listen, from what I hear, Baron Coleman has not made any post since he did that post. Does anybody know if that's true?
I don't, but what I'd like to do,
I don't know.
What I'd like to do is take a moment to say, Lord, we pray over Baron Coleman and all the investigative journalists who are diving deep into this, Lord, and protect them, Lord. Cover them with your protection. In your name we pray, Lord. Amen.
Amen.
We don't want anything bad happening to any of these guys and girls who are out there giving their all to just try to get the truth. See, they keep trying to get us to play the game. You know, I was watching a famous YouTuber earlier, and he made some very valid points. He's a kind of a right-leaning guy, but he was being very truthful. He said, look, they'll try to suck you into this paradigm where you're just playing against each other and spewing propaganda at each other. And that's not what we're supposed to be doing. That's not where humanity is found. We need to meet each other more in the middle now, and we need to meet each other more where truth is at. Truth is in the middle. Truth is with compromise. Truth is with humility. Truth is with understanding. Truth is not with ego. Truth is not with consumerism. Truth is not with, capitalism by any means necessary. These things are not truth.
And that's why it's important what we're doing here, and what we're doing collectively as a community, we're trying to bring truth, and we're trying to all coalesce around this idea of truth together, because we believe in each other, and we believe that together we can find the truth. I really think that everybody's doing that right now.
I believe so too. And I also want to say one more thing. The people that say that we should stop and that we're only doing it for clicks and views or whatever, or money, that's completely wrong. You guys don't even know this, but I personally, I have spent more money over the last month on this case, paying people for videos, paying people for to do stuff for me out in Utah, paying to have things edited to protect you guys. I've spent more money on this case than I'm going to make from all the videos I posted. So it has nothing to do with money. It's 100% about, we want to find out the truth. Charlie deserves the truth. The American people deserve the truth. We're all tired of being lied to, and we are 100% being lied to.
Very true. And I'm banned from advertisements, so hey, I don't make anything regardless.
Me too. They banned me.
I am on YouTube as well, so don't feel bad. Join the club.
Very good.
I don't even go on Facebook anymore.
My daughter's gonna hang me if I don't hang up this thing here. So
before we go, I want to say happy. Before we go, I want to say happy birthday to Steve. It's his birthday today. It's after midnight.
Oh, that's right. No, you're right. I get it, Joe, about that. So yeah, we stayed into my birthdays.
Happy birthday!
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Give this guy some birthday messages in the chat, guys.
Man, this guy and it's crazy to meet you, Steve, because knowing that you're only 5 years older than me, that's crazy, man. It's super crazy. You just turned 50.
Are you just turned 50?
No, you just turned 50.
I just turned 61.
Don't tell nobody your age, Steve. You still look great, man.
Thank you. Actually, I feel pretty good too. You know?
Do, actually.
I don't have to take medication at my age. I mean, it normally doesn't happen at this age. So
yeah. And that's because you're taking care of your health in a wise way. I just talked to my mom yesterday, and she sent me some CoQ10, some liquid CoQ10.
Yes, that's good for your heart.
All of that stuff.
So taking care of her baby. I like that.
Yeah, my mom is amazing, and she's into the whole holistic health. She takes care of our whole family, so it's a beautiful thing. When we have to take care of our health, getting up at this age, you know, you get to 40s and 50s and older, it's super important that you're trying to get as much sunlight, grounding, oxygen, clean food.
100%.
Yeah,
I'm very careful with what I eat. But I do need to. I do not like taking Western medicine. Very rarely do I take Western medicines for anything. So I
know he took a copper wire, drilled a hole in his shoe his whole life, ran a little tiny copper wire out the bottom of his shoe and on the inside of his shoe, so everywhere he walked, he'd be grounded.
Stayed grounded. I love it.
That's right.
I love it.
All right. God bless you guys. Thank y'all.
Bless you too,
Thank
brother.
you guys for listening.
Thanks for having us, Steve.
You're very welcome. I appreciate both you guys so much. Check these guys out. Tai Norman and Collin over on Project Constitution, and Ty's got his channel on You're Not Going to Mars. We are not going to Mars. I should say you're not going to, but you know, if you want to go to Mars, you can go. But we are not going to Mars.
I'm good.
Okay? Yeah. And we are not GTM. That is his channel on X. Definitely subscribe. They shut this man down on Twitter, so we want to make sure that you guys.
Actually, correction. They shut me down on TikTok. Twitter has accepted me. Collin has put me on. Collin put me back on Twitter again. I haven't been on Twitter in years. Collin put me back on Twitter. Twitter has accepted me. X has accepted me, and thank you for everybody that follows Collin and coming over and following me. I really appreciate that. Can I say one other thing about TikTok banning me before we go?
Yes, go ahead,
brother.
TikTok, I'm happy that TikTok actually banned me because, you know, it's a little bit after. So today, Planned and PenPub will be available later on tonight. I had to work out a few more technical details with it. And as I was saying in the interview yesterday, and I'll make this literally 30 seconds. PenPub is a place where instead of us using TikTok and using all these other social media outfits that are centralized censorship, it's all centralized censorship. I've developed a model that is a decentralized model, a decentralized SaaS model, effectively, and allows people to have their own private kind of social media experiences. And that's what PenPub is all about, giving authors that ability to have their own private social media experiences and keeping. You'll never allow another social media site to steal your following and take your money away and tell you to go away. Instead, you'll always have your following forever. Their email addresses, the contact information that's needed. That's the lifeblood of your business. And that's what my company, PenPub, which hosts books at this time, is going to be offering. So slide on over to PenPub tomorrow. Slide on over to my YouTube. I'll have everything, posted up on the YouTube about PenPub. And I'd love for you to be a part of the community and join in and come read some books and join some of the discussions. My book Planned will be on there tomorrow as well, too. Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate that.
Amazing. Thank you, guys. And looking forward to that. So God bless all of y'all for listening, and share the video everywhere you can. And we appreciate y'all so much. And God bless you, and have a good